Hey friends, it's Alice Adams. Welcome back to Wonderland. Thank you so much for clicking on this video today. I am coming back at you with another body modification video, and that will be centering around my tongue piercing. I'm gonna tell you right now, I am not going to be sticking my tongue out too much in this video because to me, even though that's what I'm talking about, it would just be weird. Oh yeah, one of my fire detectors is out and it's gonna be beeping. I'm hoping that that's not too bad. I'm gonna try to edit all the beeps out, but if you do hear the beeps, that's what that is, and I'm so sorry. I am going to get batteries tonight for that, but yeah. I've had a lot of people ask me if it was super painful, what it's like to actually have it in my mouth, if it's damaged my teeth, and all that kinds of stuff, so I'm just gonna be kind of doing a Q&A where I just tell you all the things that you need to know about a tongue piercing. So tongue piercings are typically 14 gauge. That's how thick the actual post that goes through your tongue is, but mine over time has stretched by itself, so mine's up to a 12 gauge right now. If you've been following me for a little while, you know that I do plan on getting my tongue split at some point when I can afford to, though with the pandemic it's looking like that'll be a long time from now. But a great way to keep your tongue from healing back together is to stretch your tongue piercing, just to create like a solid base where there's some separation there. So I have had my tongue pierced for 10 years now. So I got it pierced when I was 17. And I remember at first there was a lot of stigma around like, that's for oral sex, but that is not at all why I got it. I actually got it because I was on eBay scrolling one day in my teen years and came across a Pokemon tongue piercing. I think it could also be doubled as a nipple piercing, but I wasn't gonna go there. And yeah, and so I thought it'd be really cute because I was all like teeny weeny and with like my little Pokeball tongue piercing. I thought that was neat. But anyhow, so that was the whole thought process behind getting that done. I walked into my piercing shop, and where I live, you can be 16 to sign off for any piercings you want apart from genital piercings, which is pretty freaking cool. So I didn't need my parents with me or anything. I just waltzed right in there, and I say it as if I was super confident going in, but honestly, my tongue and my surface anger that I used to have were the two piercings that I have freaked out the most about beforehand. I remember really trying to breathe deeply, really trying to calm myself down. I asked the piercer like 110 questions, and she was so good about going over all of it with me and really trying to comfort me. She said, "You're only gonna feel it going in and coming out. Everything in the middle is so soft, it's almost hollow." And I can really say that that was exactly what the experience was. It really pinched going in, and there seemed to be a lot more force coming out of the bottom of the tongue. Ugh, it was ugh. And if you picture it this way too, like your tongue is sticking out the whole time because they can't pierce it while it's in your mouth. Had my tongue in one of those clamps, and my tongue was like as far out as I could possibly get it. And so because your tongue is out, you're not really able to swallow your saliva. So the second that she pulled my tongue out, I just started drooling all over my chin. It was a cute look, yeah. She comforted me that that was totally normal. And then I found, for some reason, the first initial pinch of it going in just caused all of my salivary glands to just release at once, and it was just like Niagara Falls. Like, it's so gross, but it's true. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys because this might happen to you too. It was like saliva and blood mixed together, just running down, messing my Bring Me the Horizons shirt up, getting it all stained and stuff. She had her assistant like come in with all these paper towels and was just like mopping up this disgusting mess on my face. So if you somehow decide to get a tongue piercing while you're on a date or something, it's probably not a good idea, just a heads up. But I was pleasantly surprised at how quickly it went. That's the beautiful thing about piercings, you know, even if it's in a horrible spot where it could be painful, it's only a second and then it's done. I often find as well that the jewelry going in after the needle has gone in is the hardest part. Comment down below if you agree. So I just got a plain old silver stainless steel, I guess it would be, or surgical steel 14 gauge post. Put that in, two little steel balls, same color, nothing fancy at first. And they do give you a longer post than usual just to accommodate for the swelling. And my gosh, thank goodness they do that because there is so much swelling. I would say out of any piercing I've ever gotten, my tongue's swelled up the most. I almost said swole, is that a word? I feel like that's mostly associated with weird gym douchey lingo, I don't know. It was almost instant. I felt the heat. You know that heat when you know that you're gonna be swollen because it just becomes on fire? That's what happened immediately after. And something that is important to know as well, in case you have a job where like communications is your thing, you probably can't talk for about 3 weeks, I would say. Like speak normally, I should say. Yeah, because the first week you can't really talk at all, and then after that you just have this horrible lisp. That's not to say that people with lisps sound horrible, I just mean like to go from not having a lisp to having one is very jarring and upsetting. At the time I was working at a hair salon that was super, they call high-end, I call snobby, and so I had to be extremely eloquent in the way that I dressed and carried myself and spoke. And they were also really against piercings, so I was like trying to play it off like I didn't get anything done. But the title had 2 S's in it, and I was doing a lot of reception there, so every time I had to answer the phone, like, which, yeah, was kind of a dead giveaway. I remember the manager coming up to me and being like,
"Why are you talking different?"
And I was like, oh, I bit my tongue, like, it sucks, but it's gonna heal. Super genius, yeah. Very, very believable. And then it came time for lunch, and like they didn't allow people to leave the premises to have lunch, so I had to sit there. There wasn't a lunchroom either. I just had to sit there in the middle of the salon at like the manicure table, just shoveling soup into my mouth. That was very, very messy because my tongue was the size of a basketball and it was like getting all over the place, and I'm like, this is normal, this is fine. They never confronted me about the tongue piercing again after that. So I don't know if I got away with it or if they just put 2 and 2 together and made peace with that on their own. I'm not sure. You basically have to teach yourself. It's kind of like speech therapy that you're just taking into your own hands. I remember trying to do tongue twisters as an exercise for myself. The piercer didn't tell me to do that, but I was very bothered, especially because I worked in such a judgy environment, so having this random lisp was not doing me any favors at that workplace. And now I find I do have somewhat of a lisp sometimes, especially if I'm looking for it. I can kind of hear it right now. I'm also not one of those people that's ever been one to like stick it out of my mouth all the time. I'll show you what I mean. So I basically had to live off of soup, ice cream, and Jell-O for like a whole month. I also probably could have done green smoothies if I was caring about nutrition at that point in my life. I had to do a mouthwash that the piercer gave to me. It was basically just salt water, but there are dangers that come with having one. Firstly, if you're constantly playing with it in or out of your mouth, you will probably break one of your teeth. It happened to one of my friends. Her left front tooth completely chipped because she was always clinking it against her teeth all the time. Now, some people do recommend going for plastic jewelry in that case, but plastic is porous and it can hold on to harmful bacteria that can create an unhealthy environment, especially if it's newer piercing, but even just in general, like it'll accumulate tartar and things like that in your mouth. Stick with steel. Yes, so no clanking against your teeth for fun, no rubbing it all over your lips like I demonstrated earlier, no pulling it through your teeth. I see people doing that sometimes where they like hook it. Do stuff like that. That is so dangerous. Just leave it in your mouth. A shorter post will prevent you from doing things like that. So once it's all healed, go and get the shortest post that will fit, recommended by your piercer. I'll really prevent you from playing with it. Yeah, so I would say pain level, minimal when you're actually getting it done, apart from going in and coming out, but the swelling is the biggest deterrent. If this healed over, I probably wouldn't do it again because the swelling was just insane and very tumultuous to deal with in everyday life situations. I also find that there's like shaming of having a tongue piercing every single time you go to the dentist. And I understand they're trying to keep your best interest in mind when it comes to your teeth, but it is so annoying. Like, I have to go to the dentist every 6 months to get my cleanings and my checkups and all that jazz, and every time they give me this big spiel about how I shouldn't have a tongue piercing because it's gonna damage my teeth. But I already told you guys, there are loopholes in order to avoid getting your teeth damaged. So anyhow, yeah, pretty much any piercing in or around your mouth, they will shame you for a lot of the time. I'm not speaking for all dentists, I guess, but mine is. And the last 3 that I've had are, so do what you will with that information. For me, it's an alternative style thing. And I don't know, I just like it. I feel like that about a lot of my mods. I just like it. It's part of my style. It's part of my self-expression. There are no other subliminal meanings as to why I have mine. I will say I have had no complications whatsoever with this piercing apart from the initial pain in the butt that was healing it. It has been smooth sailing ever since. I fully expect to be 90 years old rocking this tongue piercing, and that's pretty much everything I can come up with about my tongue piercing. But if you'd like me to elaborate further on any part of it, or if you have any questions whatsoever about this tongue piercing, please comment down below. I would love to hear from you. And if you don't already know, I keep all of my Instagram information in the description of every single video. Please follow me there. If you want to keep up with me on the regular, I do post 1 to 2 times a week on the light side of the paranormal. That is my main channel, and I will link that in the description as well. I would say that that is niche content. It is in regards to the paranormal. We do ghost investigations, we react to ghosts caught on camera, and all that kinds of things. But if you like spooky stuff and if that is your jam, become a part of our Paranormy fam over there. Please like this video if you want to see more videos about my piercings, and you know what's coming. Subscribe to my channel for more videos like this and for more videos that are not like this, but that are still cool. And also, free Britney! She is a victim of conservatorship abuse as well as the victim of many human rights violations. I really encourage you to watch the New York Times documentary Framing Britney Spears. It's about an hour long, and it's really worth your time if you want to get the down low on what's really going on there. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Thanks for watching this all the way to the end, and I hope to see you soon. Bye! I got a new camera, hope you can tell. I really like it.